content is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a physician for any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Hello and Namaste. It's me Jyoti Gautam.
And it's me, Archu Bandari.
First of all, I would like to welcome you all to yet another episode of our podcast brought to you by Creative Kalosam Nepal. In this program, we will be discussing various diseases that we have encountered during our clinical postings. Without further delay, let's move on to today's case scenario.
Mr. Nepal, a 9-year-old male, presented to our hospital yesterday morning with chief complaint of swelling of face, scanty micturition with hematuria for the last 3 days. He was apparently well 3 days back when his mother first noticed swelling around eyes in the morning, which was acute and progressive in nature. He complained of low urine output and even blood on urine on the same day. There was no burning, painful micturition and low in pain. There was presence of low-grade fever at the initial period with anorexia and malaise, but history of vomiting and headache, chills, rigors and rashes were absent. There was a history suggestive of untreated throat infection for last 2 weeks. There was neither an history of insect bite, allergy nor joint pain. Respiratory distress, orthopnea, convulsion, anuria were absent.
History of facial swelling, oliguria, and hematuria with untreated throat infection and low-grade fever leads to many possible diagnoses. So, before coming to the diagnosis, let's discuss the examination findings of this patient. The patient looked pale and puffy and was conscious, cooperative, and well-oriented to time, place, and person. Swelling was seen more in the eyelids and around the eyes, causing narrowing of the palpebral fissure. There was presence of mild pitting pedal edema. Cyanosis was absent. On general examination, respiratory rate was found to be 15 breaths per minute, pulse was 105 beats per minute, and blood pressure was 150 by 90 mm of Ag, which was recorded on left arm. Jugular venous pressure was raised, tonsils were enlarged, scrotal edema and ascites were not appreciated. Likewise, liver, spleen and kidneys were not palpable and renal angles were not tender. So Arju, in your opinion, what may be the various conditions presenting with similar signs and symptoms?
So far, to my knowledge, the probable diagnosis includes acute nephritic syndrome, nephrotic syndrome, acute renal failure, angioneurotic edema, and systemic lupus erythematosus. So, on going to very depth of all differential diagnosis, acute onset of symptoms with oliguria, hematuria, and hypotension with absence of scrotal edema and anasarca rules out nephrotic syndrome. In addition, age also supports against it. It is less likely to be acute renal failure as there is no severe oliguria or anuria. Acidotic breathing and confusion, delirium are also absent. Since there is no history of insect bite and skin rashes and presence of hypertension, angioneurotic edema can be ruled out. Similarly, absence of joint pain and rashes rules out systemic lupus erythematosus. Since the typical features of acute onset of facial puffiness, oliguria, hematuria, and hypertension, raised jugular venous pressure with previous history of throat infection forwards the diagnosis towards acute nephritic syndrome. So, what do you think? Is our case sure of acute nephritic syndrome?
I totally agree with you. But before coming to the final diagnosis, let's look at the investigation report and confirm our findings so far. On doing routine blood examination, hemoglobin was 10.5 mg per deciliter, WBC count was 13,000 cells per millimeter cube, ESR was raised and platelets were normal. On urinalysis, urine was cola colored with protein level of 2+. Hematuria was seen with 7 RBC per high power field. Granular cast were present and ASO titer was greater than 200 international units. Serum creatinine and urea level were 1.2 mg per deciliter and 38 mg per deciliter respectively. Now, let's discuss how the case of acute nephritic syndrome is managed.
The management of nephritic syndrome involves a multidisciplinary team consisting of internist, nephrologist, immunologist, infectious disease specialist, pharmacist, and nursing staff. Close monitoring of the patient's hemodynamic status and renal profile should be done to assess the progression of the disease. The underlying autoimmune disease can be managed by administration of corticosteroids and immunomodulatory drugs. The immunologist and pharmacist should educate the patient regarding close monitoring of the adverse effects of these drugs. The patient should follow a restricted diet low in sodium, potassium, and phosphate planned by the dietitian. The treatment in nephritic syndrome is mainly supportive. It consists of antihypertensive drugs like angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, angiotensin receptor blockers, and nifedipine in severe cases. Likewise, diuretics, that is furosemide, and antibiotics like penicillin, erythromycin in penicillin-resistant patient is used as pharmacotherapy. In consultation with doctors, nephrodialysis can be done as well.
I would like to give some advice to patients with nephritic syndrome. Patients should cut down on salt, drink plenty of water, follow your doctor's advice for amount of protein and potassium in your diet, prevent any skin and other infections, and more importantly, have regular follow-up and advice from the consultants.
In this episode, we discussed the case of acute nephritic syndrome. Thank you for listening patiently. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will be back with another episode. Until then, have a good time.